Hello everyone, welcome back to my lecture series on strategic management. And today I'm starting chapter 6, which deals with managing the multi-business firm and analyzing strategic hedge. Every business firm try to create strategic hedge means some differentiation in the market by way of their strategies. So that is called strategic hedge. Strategic hedge some differentiation and they want to take a leadership position and they will be doing continuous changes in the organization to achieve success or increase the growth rate. Few tools or techniques which management uses to change the way they are working are business process re-engineering, benchmarking, total quality management, Six Sigma, benchmarking wheel. Let us discuss these points one by one. I'm starting my discussion with business process reengineering. First point, first topic under chapter 6, strategic hedge. It's popularly known as BPR, business process reengineering. It was introduced and popularized by Hammer and James Champy. They published a book called Re-Engineering the Corporation. They published a book called Re-Engineering the Corporation in early 90s or late 80s. And in 1990s, BPR became popular as a justification for downsizing. What is downsizing? Downsizing means reducing manpower. See, one of the biggest cost in any organization is manpower cost. And always they try to reduce manpower cost by doing some automation recent times, adopting IT solutions, or improving processes, etc. So in 90s, BPR became more popular as a justification for downsizing. Okay, so what is BPR? So before we know like what exactly the BPR, it is necessary to know what is business process and what is re-engineering. Then we will discuss what is business process re-engineering. What is business process? It is a process is a collection of activities, right? Process means what is process or a business process is a collection of activities. So business process means any one of the process which is related to a business function. For example, purchasing process. So what all are the activities, collection of activities required to perform purchasing and how we can redesign this entire purchasing process. In organization, we have manufacturing processes. We will be having finance and reporting processes, sales process. So there will be a lot of processes within the organization. Every processes are called as business processes. Okay. Process means collection of activities. And business process is a collection of activities which together produces some value to the customer. When we produce something, the cost will reduce of the focus is get a quality material and then less price, okay, quality product and a less price, and then manufacturing process is to produce a goods at a minimum cost and finally sell it to customer at a lesser price. So any process or any action or any collection of activities which will satisfy, which will work towards satisfying the customer or adding value to the customer is called as business process. What is re-engineering? Engineering means doing something technical the way it is defined. Already is defined, and you know automobile, though the car should be assembled like this, the gear should be here. So it is all there and you will be doing it. But re-engineering, what is re-engineering? Re-engineering is fundamental rethinking and radical redesign. See these two important terms here. Whenever you define business process re-engineering, if you are not using these two words, then the examiner will not be attracted by your answer. So don't forget to use these two terms, fundamental rethinking and radical redesign. So today, say for example, how organizational purchasing process works. Somebody will raise a requisition, then it will go for approval. So somebody will say requisition means somebody will say I need particular laptop. Then it goes to his manager for approval. Then purchase department issue a purchase order. Before issuing purchase order, what they do? They negotiate with 2 to 3 suppliers. Whoever gives the best price, then they issue a purchase order. Then they receive a goods. Then invoice will come and then payment will happen. This was a process which was being followed for a long time. Okay, every company used to have their own purchasing department, finance department for bill passing, goods for receiving, all these things at on premise of the company's operation. If you see late 90s or 2000, where boom was to set up a shared service centers, all purchase process, all your invoicing process, many documentation process, everything is removed, sent it to a shared service. So if you see recent time, or outsourcing, which became popular, right? So it is fundamentally everything which was there in one location now split into a different location, either company's own shared service or outsourced to third party as a business process outsourcing. So, so that kind of the entire process of purchasing whatever we discussed from the time of raising requisition to the payment, lot of changes happen. It is all because of now automation. And initially, what they did, BPR, business process reengineering, you'll be seeing a lot of changed environment in this entire cycle. The same way, whether it is a manufacturing cycle or manufacturing process, sales, finance reporting process, all have gone changed. But the initial, that kind of change was envisioned using business process reengineering. So complete rethinking and complete redesigning. Basically, the way we are working, that everything will be changed and we will be doing rethinking from the base and redesigning. It is not just a modification, changing this to this approval. If it is less than 5,000, it should go for approval. Otherwise, no. That kind of small policy changes is not a redesign. It is a radical changes or a radical redesign. A huge change in the process, the way firm operates, is called as re-engineering. Okay. As per Hammer and Champy, business process re-engineering is the fundamental rethinking and radical design of business process. Okay. Why should we do fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of business process? So it is aimed at achieving radical improvement in essential contemporary measures of performance. Clear, guys? Why we have to do this business process re-engineering by way of fundamental rethinking, radical redesign? Why? To improve the performance of a company where cost. So the cost should reduce, quality should improve, service should be fast, and all these things should happen at speed. Correct? So The whole purpose of business process reengineering or fundamental rethinking and redesigning is to improve the performance in the areas of cost, quality, services, and speed. So, couple of things which you need to remember in this definition. PPR is all about 3 points which you need to remove: fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of why we are of business processes, why we have to do aiming improving performance. What performance? Performance in terms of cost, quality, service, and speed. So these 3 points are important from a definition of business process reengineering. These are essentials of business process reengineering. Okay. So as I said, in 1990s, it became a more popular tool, and people, every business house started implementing business process reengineering exercise to downsize and improve cost, quality, etc. And it was implemented by very high profile organizations like Hallmark, a greeting card company. So they completely re-engineering their process. Similarly, Kodak also tried the re-engineering process from black and white to a color to, and they tried to get 50% cut in their response time. So many organizations they started doing it, and as I said, with the advent of ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, where it automated ERP, it is very important for you guys. You have to remember Enterprise Resource Planning, which connects every process of the business and automates the communication between every department across the company. So with the advent of ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, so there are two important tools, guys, you should be knowing, rather three I can say now: SAP, Oracle ERP. Okay, there is a Oracle, there are a lot of other components, but you remember Oracle ERP and Microsoft Dynamics. So these are the ERP systems which connects every aspects of the business, be it purchasing, receiving, invoicing, payment, accounting, sales. So every cycle of the business, sales, invoicing, collection of cash, everything is automated and everything is interconnected. So with advent of ERP, again, the BPR got more popularity in early 2000. Moving on. So what are the objectives of BPR? We know, we already discussed that performance improvement with respect to cost, quality, service, and speed. So if we expand this little bit here, right, objectives of BPR: produce higher quality of products for end customer, improve efficiency, cost savings, and providing more meaningful work to employees. Means PPR eliminates what unwanted tasks in the process. Any process we take, there will be a lot of unwanted tasks. All those things will be eliminated. With that, employees will be working more effectively. Best example is when we go in airport. Okay, earlier in India, after check-in, like boarding pass. So now boarding pass first we have to collect boarding pass. So it is completely made it online now. Otherwise, collect boarding pass, then go for a security check. They used to stamp on my boarding pass, but now this also removed. So like this, lot of steps which are not required or which will not add value to the process, those things will be removed. So in that way, employee will be doing more meaningful work. So here, this is not there, this is not there. So employees, the security personnel will not unnecessarily waste his time on stamping. Instead of that, he perform proper security checks. And BPR makes you more adaptable and flexible towards future changes, enable new business growth and expansion. So these are the objectives of BPR exercise. Okay, so now typology of BPR project. BPR can be applied across every organization, not only for manufacturing, not only for retail or hospital. Every processes, every organization, wherever they want to improve the business process, they can apply it. And within the organization also, it is not necessary that it should apply only for a manufacturing. It can be applied for purchasing, it can be applied for finance or any processes. So, BPR, right, in 1994, Harl defined four sets of areas where we can implement BPR projects. The first one is core business processes. Core business processes are what? Processes which are directly associated with the fulfillment of external customer requirements. Any activities, for example, order fulfillment. What is order fulfillment process? Customer comes in, he gives a order, pay advance, company will produce it. Like for example, you go for a car, you order a car, then the intimation goes to a manufacturer, manufacturer produce it and dispatch it, and customer receives it. Sometimes the stock will be available, but otherwise generally there will be a waiting period for every car of 3 to 15 days, or in some case, so every demanded car, it goes up to a year. So this entire cycle, okay, this order fulfillment cycle for which we can implement BPR project. This is a core to a business. The second process where we can implement business process reengineering is support processes. Support processes are a second in a value chain. As we discussed this entire purchasing cycle, okay. Earlier we discussed same way the financial reporting, human resource management. See, the any organization, guys, you should be aware of three important process. Okay, you remember three, and the fourth one I will do it. Procure to pay, order to cash, and hire to retire. Procure to pay we discussed. So somebody raise a requisition, then go for approval, then purchase negotiations, purchase order, invoice, and payment. And payment. So we started procurement here and then we started invoicing here. So this is a complete cycle. Same way, order to cash. This we discuss now, order fulfillment cycle. What is this? Customer comes and enter orders, pay advance, ship the material, sales invoice generation, and then collection, cash collection. So from order till the time of collection, these are the steps. Hire to retire. So employee submits application. So application scanning, onboarding of employee, okay, and then once employee joins, we have to take care of his training, learning, etc. Not only that, promotion, pay slip, pay everything have to be taken, pay increase, etc. to be taken care. And then when he tries to move out of the company or retire from the company, so the processes should be there. So this is a H2R process. I'm briefing you. So as a commerce persons or as a company secretary or a finance person, we should know these processes at high level. And that's what we discussed here. Like every time we say process, right? It will be like this examples. So if I go back here, core process side, what we know now, order fulfillment, nothing but order to cash cycle. And this is core because it is directly facing to a customer. But finance systems or a human resource systems, H2R, and finance system is for record to report. In the O2C process, P2P process, H2R process, lot of cost, finance, everything will be there. Taking all those records, making a proper report is a finance job. So that is called as a record to report. So these are our support functions. Moving on, business network processes. So for what we discussed, core processes within organization, support functions within organization, but business network functions. This is beyond the company. When you produce the goods, say for example, your car, you ordered a car, the Maruti or a Tata, which having a showroom like manufacturing unit in Gujarat. So you are in Bangalore, car is here. So you book the car. You are in between where you are going to book. You are not booking directly with Tata, right? You will be booking with their agent in or a dealer in Bangalore. The message goes here. From there, they manufacture and then they ship it. They ship it to a logistics partner, some transport agent. They bring it in between. They may stop in some warehouses. Then again, it will come and reach here. So there are a lot of people who are involved in this cycle because for producing this Tata plant, they require some material also. They buy it from their suppliers. So there are a lot of third parties are involved, which are who are beyond the boundaries of the organization. With them also, we can improve the business process. How we can do it? You know now, RFID tag, radio frequency identification tag, when it is applied on a car or a truck which is carrying this, automatically a manufacturer dealer will come to know where exactly the car location is. At the same time, with your suppliers using advanced ERP systems, ask them to send electronic invoice. Electronic invoice system automatically enters in application or a ERP system. So like this, lot of automations can be done with respect to third parties, suppliers, customers, logistics provider, ware provider, etc. So this is a these are network, business network process. Core processes within the organization which are key, order to cash, support functions, record to report, and then hire to retire. Human resource systems, all are support processes. Business networking outside the organization, for example, suppliers, the way we deal with suppliers, customers, logistics operators, etc. Finally, management processes, the way company is doing their planning. So far, we discussed, right, strategic planning, evaluation, analysis, and then coming back with strategy documents, functional strategies, organization level strategies, etc. All those things we have learned, and implementation of strategies, change management, entire direction setting, all these things, the way organization is doing, that can also be improved or changed. So these are the four areas where we can implement BPR that's given by in 1994. So what is the basic principle? What are the basic principles of BPR? So it is more focused on outcomes rather than tasks. For the sake of doing a task, people are doing many tasks in any company. So it is more important with the outcome. If the task is not giving outcome, then task is irrelevant. If in the process from here to here, here to here, here to here, if there is no change, right, significant change, then the processes can be eliminated. And the other principle is it can be applied for all the processes, but it is blindly we cannot go with implementing business process re-engineering for every part of organization. So first thing, identify, optimize, then identify all the processes where all we want to prioritize and redesign. Where is the urgency to redesign? Some back-end processes are happening which are not critical, which are not cost consuming, which are not major. So then you need not to spend time. So identify critical process. The other principle for BPR is integrate. Again, I'm taking P2P cycle here. See, guys, you should be remembering processes properly. So purchase order, requisition, approval, negotiation, purchase order, receiving, and then invoicing, and then payment. This is the set. Okay. So purchase people are sitting in some place, they will not be knowing your invoice comes from supplier who is in some other place, payment will be done by some other parties. But every time we cannot create 5 copies of purchase order, one to send it to supplier, one to send it to receiver stores, one for invoice, one for payment section. So to avoid all those things, we have to integrate all these systems using ERP or any IT solution. Once the purchase order is entered in a system, it will be viewed by everyone. Once the machine material is received here, on the invoice of a supplier, there will be a purchase order number. If they enter it, they will be seeing all the details of purchase order. Like this, every process of the organization should be integrate, optimize, identify, and integrate. And we should also think how the geographically people have placed because we do right dealer is in Bangalore, manufacturing facility is here, your distributor or your transport agent is maybe from Mumbai. They are dispersed in different part of the countries, but even then you should think that they all are centralized. Though everybody are in different locations, think that it is a centralized environment and design a solution. You cannot ignore your dealer, you cannot ignore your transport agents, and also your manufacturing process. Everything is centralized. Though you are in a these all are in different places geographically, but they all are working for one common purpose, so satisfy customer. So assume when you are trying to do BPR, everything is centralized. Okay, so you are focusing on optimizing, you identify all the process where we have to implement, integrate the information to avoid duplicate passing, and then focus that every processes are centralized. Okay, and then we discussed in CPM, no? Like some activities can be started together, some activities should go sequentially. So properly plan your parallel activities, which activities can be done sequentially at the same time, which activity should be done after the completion of one task. So plan that. That is part of your BPR. And the other important aspect of the BPR principles are build control. So in every process, there should be a control. If your purchase order, whatever you issue to supplier is 50 quantities at 10 rupees each, then your invoice should not be for 60 quantity at 11 rupees. So there should be a proper control. Okay, build proper internal control. Then capture information once and at that too at the source level. See, the information is needed across the P2P process we shown, right? So you capture at one time and then that should be viewed by everybody in the supply chain of this. So these all are the principles. So avoid duplicate capturing of information at every stage of the process, build control in the process, link all parallel activities or sequential activities properly. Though it is geographically spread, think that it is centralized, integrate all the information, identify the process where we want to implement BPR, and optimizing around outcomes and not on tasks. These are the basic principles of BPR exercise. So how can BPR will be successful? BPR will be successful provided change management. We discussed about change management earlier in chapter 4 also. What is change management? Change management is whenever you try to introduce change in the organization, people will resist. People won't accept the new change. They are comfortable doing the things on the way they are doing it. So that's why change management plays a important role. Like people should be communicated properly that this change is coming up, be ready for it. There are the stages in a change management, how to do change management. Everything is given in chapter 4. And management competencies. Just I've read BPR one page and then I will go and do BPR. That will not work out. The management, the organization's management must be capable enough to manage the uh, entire BPR exercise. It is not a one person's job. The management should give a proper direction and firm on the BPR decisions. There will be a lot of resistance, but management they should have capability to implement these kind of initiatives. There should be a proper organizational structure who will take decisions on the various aspects of BPR exercise, and there should be a proper project management personnel assigned for it. Every person in the organization will be working on some or the other aspects. BPR is not a small exercise, it spreads across the organization. So there should be a proper project management person who will take care, who will track that where we are, and he will make sure that everybody is working towards common goal. So there should be a proper business management and then IT structure. So there should be an IT element in BPR without IT. So as I said, ERP is one of the important tool. Now we have AI, blockchain, all those things. So with using all these things, BPR should be initiated. So if you want BPR success, these 5 points are very, very critical. Change in management, management competencies, organization structure, BPR project management, and IT systems. So people with a lot of enthusiasm, whenever new terms comes or a technology comes, people try to adopt and they fail. Why? There are many exercises where we saw that BPR failed, and Cotter and Crow in 2002 and 1996, they listed three major reasons for failure of a BPR. Employees' resistance to change. Okay, people will not accept any change. It is point taken in every implementation. It is very, very difficult to get a confirmation from all the team members who are working on that. So it is important to get change management done properly. There should be a proper communication. So communication breakdown is another reason for the failure of BPR. And once you initiate a BPR exercise in the organization, people start leaving the job. So personal turnover. So people start leaving the job. They try to go to other company or they try to move to another vertical or other business within that company. So in that way, there will be a reason for failure of the BPR. So these are the three major basic reasons why BPR exercise fails in an organization. Okay, the last slide here on BPR, how the BPR exercise will be done. So we already like again, I keep saying that it is discussed. So let's whatever we discussed so far, right? That will be a PPR process. So first we have to identify the process. Before that, identify what is the object for your BPR exercise and then identify the process. So it is a preparation phase. Once you prepare yourself that okay, this particular process, P2P process, we want to do a BPR. It should go through a BPR exercise. Then map and analyze. See what are the existing process, where all we can do automation. How we can do automation using, how can we do automation? We can do automation by using ERP, especially for P2P cycle. Then after that, once you identify the automation area, tool, how to automate everything, then you design the process. So before designing, what you have to do, there will be a multiple options you will come across when we do analysis. Instead of doing this, let's do this, let's do this. Everybody will give different options. So all those things are alternative options. See those options, select the best one, whichever is better, take it, take a concurrence from everyone, take approval from everyone, and then design to be process. So first you identify the process, then saw the existing analysis, like existing process, how it is, and identified the automation area. Then you evaluated the alternatives and then selected best process which is to be used from the future side. That is called design to be process. So to be process, what will be your next process? Like it is not how we are doing today, how you are going to do tomorrow is a to be process. So that will be done and then implement. So you decided that, okay, the process should be everything will be moved to ERP, no manual intervention, automation, approvals, whatever it is done, discussed. So then implement it. To do implementation, create a plan, allocate resource, and importantly, do change management. And once the implementation is done, focus on continuous monitoring because we have to improve, right? It is always we cannot stand at where we implemented. There is always a scope for improvement. So then do a continuous monitoring and improve it. That's it on a BPR side, guys. In the next video, we will discuss benchmarking. Thank you so much.